Welcome back, everyone. It is episode 29, Thursday, March 2nd of the Beast Boys Sports Talk, and baseball is actually dead.
Baseball's dead. It's over.
Dead. They just canceled the season.
So right now they've canceled 2 series. So series are typically 3 games. So at least 6 games. The big problem is 2 days ago was the deadline for them to start it so spring training could start on time. Players already say spring training's too long, but it can't be too short. The other option is you give them 10 days to figure out how to play baseball as a team, which, although it might not seem like a team sport, it is a team sport. So Rob Manfred's the biggest joke of a commissioner, I would say.
Was he laughing?
Yeah, no, he's silly. So I don't know how far back your baseball knowledge goes, but I'm sure you know about the Astros cheating, hitting the trash can. Yeah, I hate Astros fans. If you're an Astros fan, get a new team.
Yeah, Astros on the Astros.
So not only did just the coaches get suspended, even though the players were the ones doing it. Yes, the coaches should have said no, but the players doing it. Rob Manfred went as far as to call the baseball trophy, which I actually cannot think of the name off the top of my head. He called it just a piece of metal, because they're talking about getting rid of it. And he said, it's just a piece of metal. It wouldn't do a whole lot. And first, that was a year ago. That pissed people off, calling what every baseball player in America works for a hunk of metal, or whatever he called it. And then laughing, and I think the quote was, one of his closing quotes were, the big trouble and the biggest gap we had between player and owner was the lack of profit and the profit margin. And then someone said last year was the 17th straight year that they went up in a percentage in profit. Last year they made $12.4 billion in profit for the owners. So I'm not sure what they're complaining about. It's kind of a joke to me. And I hope the players die on there. I literally hope they sit there and die on that ledge. They shouldn't budge, because the other option is no money.
No, yeah.
It's no money.
That's silly. That is so silly. Marcus definitely knows about baseball a lot more than me.
It's new to me, though, too. It's been a year or two.
Baseball's kind of like one of those, everyone has one of those sports. It's I can't follow it, but I can play it, though. I'll play it. I have one of the worst hand-eye coordinations when it comes to
Dude, you have a mitt? I have a mitt up there. It's so fun to play.
I'll get one.
It's fun, man. Playing catch with football.
It's a big coordinating thing, just throwing the ball.
Yeah.
It's fun. But no, I don't know. It's just silly, and this is what, when was their last lockdown?
So I believe it was in '94. So it was a long time ago. We're thinking about 2022, but it always has been different. We were talking about earlier. They've had lockouts they've had some that have been seasons where World Series haven't happened. There's actually a question mark because no one won that year, but it's never like this. It's never where the owners are leaving and saying the players are so far from here, and the players are leaving and saying they're not willing. It's never been like that. We've never, you go back all the way, I think it was 83 we were looking at earlier today, when they canceled 800 games in a World Series. That's how long ago since we've had this great of divide. But, here's something to throw out there for baseball fans. We know with football, the season doesn't end. You're working on your body, you're training, then you're working out. So in the last, I believe it's been almost 2 months now since the lockout started, which it was really quite irrelevant in the offseason because it didn't matter that much. But players can't get rehabbed by their team.
No.
They can't work out with their team. They can't go to the facility to use the millions, and in some cases tens of millions of dollars that are put into training equipment. So that's a really big thing to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's really sad, and seeing some of the greatest athletes in the sport and people that have covered the sport and commentators have done this, saying that this is the saddest day in the history of baseball. I don't fully understand it because it's a sport I've fallen in love with more recently, but it's still wow. This should not be, we shouldn't be losing sleep over a tiny amount of money when the average owner, I think they said, was worth $4 billion. So, so it's not like...
I guess to topic about, do you think, I don't know, do you think they're... MLB will come back, or do you think there will be a sorry guys, getting a call, but I don't know. Is just is there going to be a new league what comes out, or somehow? Sorry guys,
so funny. My bad.
It's all good.
Yeah. I don't see it's not going to be a new league. Everyone's under contract. Yeah. Contracts don't matter in this sense because, they do and don't. They matter in the sense where they're not going to start a new league because you can't really because of contract issues, but...
Or is it going to happen where, they just can't find a meeting where it's MLB just doesn't...
So, that's worst case scenario, but every day that passes leads to that, and the sad part, and personally, I think the baseball season is too long playing 162 games. Really, I don't think there's any reason for that. The players do. Part of it's from money because, baseball games don't sell out very often. So part of it's that you can consistently make money for, 81 home games, 81 away games. It makes the profit margin better, but God, I really don't think there's any need for a season to be that long. But for the genuine baseball fan, they love it because every night there's a game on. Every night there's 12 games on. I mean, typically your team plays 4 days in a row, 1 off, 3 days in a row, 2 off, 4. So it's fun, crazy. And when series match up, it's super fun. Like I know you're not the big fan, but like Dodgers, Padres.
I definitely watch the
the big games are like
okay.
Baseball playoffs is super good too, and but it's like when it's Dodgers, Padres, and you got Kershaw pitching one night. And you got just like all the stories, and when you play 3 times in a row, back to back to back, it builds fun stories. But it's like, I don't think it's necessary to play all 3, but for your average baseball fan, having 2 of your 3 last seasons be shortened is really terrible and shitty for the COVID year. Last year was COVID year. The year before that they had a really so it's like you're not getting a full season. So, and then that's on the owner's side. So that's the part that sucks the most. That's on the owner's side. We're not making enough money, so it's like it's so stupid.
Yeah. MLB. Hopefully it comes back. Hopefully it comes back.
Yeah, I'm really, really hoping for that. Yeah. So it'll be really sad if it doesn't. If they don't have a season this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really bad look.
And then, let's kind of like transition to a little bit what's kind of a little bit blowing up. Like a couple of days now has been like just like Arizona Cardinals, like whole thing. Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
He like this whole like a couple weeks ago we had a conversation and it was like, it's not going to be a whole big thing. Mm-hmm. Turned out to be a big thing now.
Yeah.
Because it was a judgment about his character, his leader. It's like you can't just like
how he's in the locker room.
Yeah, it's like
it's everything.
I mean, there's a lot. And then his agent came out and kind of was like, "We need a lengthy
long-term deal."
Yeah, long-term deal.
With I don't know if he said high pay, but I mean,
it's gonna be.
Yeah, they weren't asking for minimal money.
70 rushing touchdowns in the first 3 years.
Yeah. I mean. He's really, really good, man.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just so weird to see a quarterback talking about contract like publicly like this. Yeah. I've never really seen something like obviously Aaron Rodgers is doing his own thing, but it's not like his agent's like, we need more money.
And that's never really been public. He's never.
It's always within the organization.
Yes.
Nothing really comes out. Keep the cards close to the chest.
Yes.
Which is just weird where they're making like announcements and at the same time, Kyler Murray's agent is the same agent as Cliff Kingsbury. And Cliff Kingsbury just extended his contract to 2027.
Yep.
So a little bit confused on this whole scenario.
It's a similar thing that the NBA has a problem with Clutch Sports. With players wanting to team up with dudes with God, I can't even remember the dude's name. But Clutch Sports has so many big guys. Mm-hmm. And his name's Rich Paul. I couldn't remember. You ever heard of the Rich Paul rule? It's such a pathetic thing that the NBA tried to initiate that every NBA agent had to have a college degree. And it literally was a spit in the face to Rich Paul, who owns the biggest organization, which is Clutch Sports, which has the biggest athletes in football, basketball, and baseball. And they literally put a rule in place because he doesn't have a college degree. But I mean, the company's worth $1 billion, and they have LeBron, Ben Simmons. They have literally people in every single sport.
And he doesn't have
Jeff Okuda, Quincy Williams. No.
We can definitely spin zone. I mean, that's just silly where people are like, obviously. I mean, we are in college, but it's like, I mean, if there's things what you want to do in life, and it just might not require a degree, and it's just some people's brains. Like they just college and just learning all this. Mm-hmm. Like
it's not for everyone.
Not for everyone. And I have a whole different thing like artistic, or something. Where it's just like college is not
trade school. There's a million options.
So many million options. Where it's like just because you don't have to go to a university or something.
Yeah.
Or a piece of paper and like go do your dream. Like.
And it really is to me. It's I don't know, it's kind of racist in a way. Like, you're picking the biggest black agent, the only famous black agent, and you're throwing you didn't go to college at him.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, here's a list I pulled up a list of, so he has AD, LeBron, Ben Simmons, Trae Young, John Wall, Draymond Green, Miles Bridges, DeJounte Murray, J.R. Smith, KCP, Marcus, they literally,
I think Nurkic,
Nurk, I mean, he literally has Montrezl Harrell, Nurk, Robinson, Ben McLemore. It literally has a crazy roster. Football, same thing. He has quarterbacks. He has it was such a joke when all that happened, but it's a problem when you have it's like you can't have the agents like.
Yeah.
What is Cliff saying to his agent, who's also Kyler? Is he like, hey man, what's going on? Or is he saying, I don't want to get in the middle of it? I really wonder.
I mean, it's hard. It's like that's the head coach and QB, which is usually their relationships are like tight. Like together. So it's interesting how they're going about all this, and then now Christian Kirk is saying he wants out. He's going to be a free agent. And he's probably going to go to a different team. And there's already a lot of teams who are showing interest in him.
Yes.
Because I think he could be a great wide receiver too. I strongly believe.
Yeah, we were talking about that. They have a really good. I mean, they have such good receivers there. But you're right, and especially when D-Hop went down. Yeah. Stepped up. So that's a big thing as a 2 or what could be a 3 is how are you going to step up when that time gets offered.
Yeah, and then as well, Chandler Jones. He's looking to be out, which is going to be huge.
John Jones' brother.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy, whoever gets him.
Dude, people don't understand the domination.
Defense.
That's a weekend defense with... Is JJ on 1 year, or is he there for more than
2 years.
Year? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a 2 year.
Okay.
Like 40. I think it was like a 2 year, $42 million deal.
Okay.
So
at least he's there. I'm just curious about next year because that can impact. I mean, it makes
And JJ Watt's not very healthy now, late in his career, where it's just like that's gonna hurt the Cardinals a lot, and they have to draft really well this year or go after a big player. So yeah, it feels like a lot of weird collapsing things on Arizona, where it feels like they're such a young team and trending upwards. Like after one really bad playoff game. Like, they're, like, jumping ship.
Well, remember when they lost a few games in the start of the season and the talk was, do we fire Cliff Kingsbury?
It was, well, yeah, they went on the crazy hot streak.
Yes, and then they went,
Yeah, and then they lost, like, 2 or 3
in a row, and I was like, that's what it was. But I was like, are we serious?
Well, I knew they were frauds. I mean, we were saying, I was like, they're frauds.
We called them and the Cowboys out.
Yeah.
Give me some credit for that.
Yeah, like, total frauds, but at the same time, it's like, they have a lot of things to build on. Like, get a line and get some pieces, and, like, it's going to catapult them on, because it's a tough division. Where, next year, if they actually added some pieces, I think the top two out of that division is Rams and Cardinals.
Yeah.
Seriously. But it's very interesting on how they're going about all of this, and it's just with the quarterback. It's very public.
Yeah.
Way too public.
And I mean, it's now more than ever that we've seen this being a problem. Yeah. Like, I don't remember. I mean, I didn't follow it as much. I didn't have like Twitter, but like growing up, I don't remember like hearing Matt Hasselbeck complaining and Drew Brees asking for a trade after one bad season, and I don't remember hearing like the stars of me growing up at least doing that.
Yeah, and then I guess
it's weird.
Another quarterback in that division. People are kind of like blown out of proportion, I think, but I would love your opinion. Russell Wilson unfollows Seahawks on social media.
Did you see what he fixed, though?
No.
So he didn't unfollow him. That part of the story is BS. He took out Seahawks out of his bio, and then after things went crazy, he was like, guys, I was just messing with my social media, fixed it. And then, I mean, to be honest, man, I'm like, that has nothing to do with you, but I'm so sick of it's such like a grab for anything. It's like, I know there's no football happening.
Do you understand my life now?
No, I do. But like
Lillard
okay, Lillard's different because he's super loyal, and I really think it'd be rare if he leaves. Rodgers, I have no sympathy for because he causes more. I mean, Russell Wilson is the epitome of the polar opposite of him. Like, literally, you go to Rodgers and all the drama and all the shit he talks and all the things he gets on shows, and then you go to Russell Wilson and he just says, "Go Hawks," and I love God, and that's it. Other than that, he plays football and he shuts up. The rest of it's the media, But
even when he's just like literally just doing the offseason, doing nothing media related, where he's like,
no, that's
it's
true.
Like this country club. Dude.
I read an article,
He's talking to country club. It's like, all right, guys, we're getting way too.
So I heard John Schneider, who's our GM today, actually 4 hours ago, talking about they have no intention of trading him. Russell Wilson yesterday said in an interview, someone asked him, literally someone, it's so pathetic, after the Seahawks thing, asked him in an interview what he would feel about playing for the Commanders, which to me still sounds like an XFL team. Like, that just floated off the tongue, and I said, the who? Like,
they would have to give up a lot, dude.
So, well, not only, I mean, they would literally have to give up, I would say, like, I don't know, like Chase Young and 2 first-rounders, or like 4 first-rounders.
Montez Sweat, and then like 4
first-rounders. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot you'd have to give up. He just said, I have no interest in playing there. I'm extremely happy in Seattle and plan on finishing my career out here. Yeah. So that, I mean, if I hear another story in August, I'm going to just be like,
it's just media wants people in big markets.
Yeah. And
which is annoying. It's not, they do the narrative most of the time. They draw something.
They're the ones who said Sierra wants to be in New York. I've never heard her say that.
No. And then, like, Washington Commanders, like, Russell Wilson. Like, they just need a quarterback, so obviously Russell Wilson, you know.
But it's like, dude, you're happy in Seattle. Semi-happy. This is the first bad season he's had since he basically came here. Like, I mean, we made the playoffs as a rookie.
I think what would potentially make a little bit more sense, it would shake up everything, but kind of make more sense is Derek Carr to the Raiders. I mean, to the Commanders.
Yes.
See, I like that.
Yeah, I just think Derek Carr is the only thing holding on to that team.
Yeah, also, I mean, there's been numerous times where Derek Carr said, if I get traded, I'm retiring.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Man, imagine, because it could go 2 ways. One of 2 ways, he says that before the deals are signed. 2 is he doesn't get discussed, and that'd be nuts, man.
Yeah.
They send him to Washington for some picks and a D lineman, and he goes, deuces.
All right, see you guys.
Thanks, though.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I like that. I guess we'll see as time passes.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that offense would be fun to watch. Also.
Oh yeah.
Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson. Yeah. And then friggin'
and like a really good, and then it also would allow them with their picks.
They also have some picks.
So it's like their picks they could build around him instead of building for someone else. Yeah. So the one thing I wanted to get about John Schneider was some people were giving him shit, and I wanted curious because I know this is a job he would have. He's a GM of the Seattle Seahawks, and some people were giving him shit for not declining phone calls talking about Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. And his quote was, and I got literally quote, he said, "If I'm not answering these calls, I'm not doing my job." And I agree. I think that if someone goes, hey, do you guys even have a GM? Who's your GM? The Packers? I wasn't sure if that was run by like 7,000 people that pay for it. But
Brian Gunskin. He came out and said not a single person's even offered called for air.
So I think it's kind of ballsy, but it also just I like seeing him speak, and he just basically was like, it would be me not doing my job. He's like, we haven't considered any trades, but when we've had 4 phone calls, I can't say no. I mean, for all you know, one offer could literally be like Carson Wentz and 4 first-rounders. Like something like that you can't pass up. We're not passing up 2 years of Wentz. We don't have first-rounders for years, so to get our first... But to me, I agree. It's him doing his job, man. Like, if he were to not do that, if he declined every call, you're not doing your job. Yeah. So, I don't get it, but... The one last NFL topic, and we'll get to the other things, was my Cam Newton point. So we were talking a few weeks ago about Matthew Stafford. Cam Newton might get signed back to Carolina, what you were telling me earlier. Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about that. He didn't really play good there. I think I saw someone make a list earlier today of players I'd rather... it says a list of veteran quarterbacks I prefer over the rookie draft, and I agree with about half of these. It says Winston, Mariota, Fitzpatrick, Andy Dalton, Jacoby Brissett, Mitchell Trubisky, Cam Newton, and Teddy Bridgewater over the weak class of who you'd have start next year. Mm-hmm. And I agree. And then I click on that, and I scroll down, and we were talking about Matthew Stafford being a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. And I was saying what your take was, and this is what I was waiting to throw out. So, Cam Newton has more passing touchdowns in his career than Troy Aikman and Joe Naismith. He has more rushing touchdowns than Eric Campbell, Shady McCoy, Eddie George, and Thurman Thomas, who are all GOATs who are in the Hall of Fame, every one of them. Same yards per carry as Gale Sayers and Barry Sanders. Plus a league MVP.
Yeah. I
don't think it's debatable. Like, I think if we're even debating one good year, Rams, I don't think it, but anyway, I never thought about it. I was just like, he's good. We talked about he had some good years in the middle of his career and then kind of went downhill, but I never thought about it. Like, you look at that, more passing touchdowns than Aikman, more rushing than Eddie George, better yards per carry than Barry Sanders, and you're like,
well, I mean, definitely MVP, but then at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, it's just like, when you look at Stafford, it almost feels like he has a lot more. His play of style is like a lot longer. Like he probably has 4 to even 6 years.
Years left when Cam wasn't.
I'm sorry. Like the last 2 to 3 years of Cam Newton's career have been dog.
I mean, it was literally throwing the ball at the ground, having shoulder surgery.
Like literally after the third week with the Patriots, it was so bad. Like it is so like he throws with he's throwing a hatchet.
Yeah,
like,
the ball was hitting the ground before.
He needs a 1 yard QB power in the end zone.
Yeah,
it just like you're not. You're crippling yourself on offense with Cam Newton at quarterback, basically.
Yeah. Now, I guess I just think we keep talking about all
he was very dominant.
Yeah, for sure.
30 years, and stats just say it. It's just like getting to this point now where if let's say Super Bowl and then or MVP and then your top 10 in your specific category. It's almost a Hall of Famer, and that's literally Stafford now.
But I think that the two things are missing. You can't not... I don't even think Stafford has a second-team All-Pro, bro. You can't not be the greatest player in your position in your entire career for 1 year. I literally don't think it's debatable. I don't think... You can't tell me that anyone deserves to be a Hall of Famer when you're the second greatest player in your position and not one season were you the greatest. I think he has to have a first team. You can't say that you were the second to 17th, let's say. In some years he was like the 10th best quarterback. You can't not have a first-team All-Pro.
Even if he doesn't somehow get one, and if he has 4 to 6 years left, he's gonna be like top 7, top 6 almost in all the passing categories, and then he's MVP. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I guess I think without a Super Bowl, with only 2 Pro Bowls, and with only 1 ring, and arguably being very, very carried by arguably being very, very carried by a defense and a cap-broken offense. I just think it's so hard to say, man.
It's hard with the Rams because they just even said like we're going all in.
Yes, I don't blame the Rams. I mean, they hooked him up all around, but I think that the other argument is he never was successful in Detroit. I know that franchise is terrible, but we've seen quarterbacks succeed. Man, I've watched. I know the Seahawks example it's my team, but I've watched them with the 31st ranked defense and the 30th ranked O-line make the playoffs. So that's not an excuse. You have to be better. There's no excuse to... I think...
And then, but at the same time, you look at his arm talent, and it's like... And then you also see, the wide receivers around him. Other than Megatron, it's just been who?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, yeah. He played 2 years where Golden Tate was his best.
Yeah. That's not a whole lot to say.
Yeah,
but I think with this climate, he's in a better environment than Detroit, where he's gonna have a lot better protection. He's not gonna be dealing with 50 injuries per season.
Yeah,
in LA, where I think he's I think once it's all said and done, because a lot of people say he's a Hall of Famer right now. It's let's see when his career ends. Before we just start placing. Yeah,
I guess so. Here's a question though: if they never make another Super Bowl and he's just consistent, they win the NFC West, they lose second round, they lose third round, they lose NFC Championship, he retires. What else has he done? Other than just being a starting quarterback in a great market with.
Then it just goes with stat. If he even gets to top 5.
Yes, I guess I just can't get over you not being the best player in your position. And it makes no sense.
But then it's also the level of play of all the other quarterbacks in the league, where it's
But then are we just letting everyone in? Because if that's the case, then every quarterback who won first team over him every year should be in. I can't find a list.
It's not even being the best, but the consistency of. Then you just have to see his consistency of play throughout the entire years of how elite it has been.
I just think no playoff wins until you come here, and then.
But
he can do it.
We have in the NFL, we have a lot of young, great quarterbacks now.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is are we on track where Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray all can put up good stats and win one Super Bowl and they're all Hall of Famers?
Yeah.
Are we just gonna let people in the? There's 300 people.
Yeah.
Think about how many athletes have been played, and I literally cannot find one person who hasn't made a first team All-Pro that's in the Hall of Fame. Literally cannot find one. The average one has between 6 and 11 first-team All-Pros.
Jeez.
So it's a real hard argument to make, and I think that he at least won't be first team or first. He won't be a first year. How you have a few years to run. Jerry Rice leads number 1 with 10 first team. Mm-hmm. And then you go down to 100 players down to Bobby Wagner, who has 7 first team All-Pro, and then you go more far down and there's a whole other list of dudes who have 4 and 5. I'm it's a hard debate. He can do it though. Go to another Super Bowl.
It's just super hard with just quarterback because it's 32 teams and it is so hard. But
it's also the hardest position to get in though.
It is insanely
it's really hard. You basically have to have first teams, MVPs, Super Bowls, and top 10 stats if you're a quarterback. It's not either or at all.
No.
So.
But.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Fun topic, though.
Fun topic. But yeah, my take, I think once it's all said and done, I think Matthew Stafford's going to be on it. Be a Hall of Famer.
And I don't, so we'll have to see in the next 10 years.
Oh, really? Oh.
I don't think at all. He has no shot of being first team MVP. I don't think they have a very minimal shot of making a Super Bowl. He will not get a first team.
In 10 years?
I will die on that hill. If you don't have a first team All Pro, then the Hall of Fame's a joke.
So
let the floodgates in.
Okay. So in 10 years.
$50. 100. We're gonna be adults.
100. Okay.
We're gonna have jobs.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. And then I guess next we can kind of breeze by these, but college basketball and NBA. College basketball is officially heating up last week. It was the craziest thing, all in one night. 1 through 6 seeds in the AP polls all lost. Never happened in
ever.
Yeah, ever
in the same day. Yeah, I don't think it's even a sense
crazy.
It's ever happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Zags, because it's so close to us. I mean, they're still favored to win March Madness, but it's kind of hard now. It is very hard to say that losing three games and it's not even a tough schedule.
2 of 3 which were unranked teams that
did.
Also, 2 of the 3 also they were minus 18 or more favorites. Yeah. So I mean, there's no excuse. And we love them, man. They're up the street.
Yeah, they're so fun to watch.
And they're so fun every year. They're fun to watch.
But I don't know. Once you go up against Wisconsin, Purdue.
That's why at some point I'm like, can we stop hyping? Like, if they lose, man, this year, I don't care what anyone says. They won't be ranked number 1 next year. I don't care what anyone says. Like, they can go 20-1 next year, and they better sit at number 2.
It's just the competition here.
Yeah, I mean, it would literally be like putting a SEC team in the Mountain West.
Yeah.
And it'd be like putting Georgia in the Mountain West, and then arguing and then losing to Alabama. It's so stupid. So, it's a really good team, though.
Yeah, great team.
Yeah.
Super fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, keeping up with them a little more.
Yeah. It'll be interesting about once brackets start happening. Probably next week. Sorry, I missed it off. But that'll be super fun.
The ones right now, this isn't official, but should be Arizona, Kansas, Baylor, Zags. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously we could see a little bit of change if Auburn wins out or Kentucky wins out. It's possible to sneak in there. Yeah. But that's what we're looking at. We're going to have like an hour episode where we go super in depth.
It's going to be great.
The
just
whole
in
bracket. Yeah. Oh. Dude, you remember in high school?
Yeah, high school.
It's pretty good.
Like, and then once we, especially last year when, we actually started using computers with COVID, everything's online, we're in class, because my class was, all in person, fourth quarter, and we're, putting,
Dude, I remember getting in trouble all through middle school for having one on the, because
we didn't always have computers. App, or,
you had the March app. It's so iconic. You can watch anything.
This is the most downloaded thing in the month.
It's always number 1. They run the scoreboard on that. Yeah, but we're gonna do a big episode. Even Cinderella teams that shouldn't make Sweet 16, players to watch. I mean, we'll do a ton of notes, make that a fun episode. So,
but it's just and then NBA Harden.
That's the only story, really.
So I'm actually now watching Joel Embiid, and it's really annoying me. I'm just
I don't like his play style.
Yeah, I think last week or Sunday when they were playing the Knicks, they're playing them again tonight. At the half, he was at 15 attempts for free throws. At halftime.
And what did he finish with? 23?
Yeah, probably. Dude, it's just that is ruining the game again. And
the hard part, what everyone's arguing, is it's harder with the center position because he's not doing the jump into. It's just
he did.
Well, no, I know he's
doing.
I know, but it's different than how Harden and Trae Young do it with getting. But he's doing the same thing, but under. It's harder to not call under the hoop. Because when you're going like that and someone smacks you, but I mean, God, is it not fun to watch?
Yeah, it is insane and it's so dominant. It is so dominant.
Yeah.
These two players together, and then. Standings kind of are the same.
Warriors are on a losing streak.
Yeah. Any updates? Who do you think gonna be in the finals?
I still think Warriors, Bucks. Warriors in 5. But we need to get the team back together. Clay's been out 3 games in a row now. Draymond's been out damn near a month, including the All-Star break. Iguodala has been out 3.5 weeks. Wiseman hasn't played since last season. People forget that, 4 3 of our 5 are missing.
Yeah.
So it'll piece together. I guess I just think the Suns are really, really dominant. No Chris Paul worries me, but if he's coming back before playoffs, that's really all they need. They're not. I mean, they're going to sit on that 1 seed.
I seriously think it's going to be Suns again, and
Suns Bucks rematch. I can really.
Yeah. I was saying, 76ers Suns. I think they're my shot. It's just like it is so dominant with this team, and they still have like Tyrese Maxey, I think, and Bible. Like so many these guys.
So people forget about that dude. That dude's from UW. Like I mean, if you want to watch,
they don't have Seth Curry, but like, dude,
who cares?
They're ballers and they're good defensively.
That's the big problem.
They're good defense,
and especially
they have. I mean, I keep forgetting his name, but like, dude, their power forward, Tobias Harris. I love him. I don't know.
I like his play style a lot.
He definitely get his points are.
But playoffs when the rotations get shorter, having a player like him that can drop 25 when he's not supposed to is.
He's efficient. He's very efficient.
Yes.
He takes smart shots.
Yeah, and seriously. I know James Harden's a little bit of a defensive liability, but if he's your starting point guard, him just being 6'5" causes trouble to a 6'1" and 2 point guard.
He's quite frankly, he passes the ball. He does pass the ball.
He has 19-5 and 4 at half right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, Matisse Thybulle, not to get back to hype it up too much, but probably the most fun defender to watch. I think that's fair to say. He might not be the most dominant. He's not going to win DPOI. He's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year. But damn, man, like, if you want to watch just really good defense, steals, blocks, I mean, you can't shoot a jump shot if he's guarding you. Like,
no.
You have to pass and go. You have to get a pick. You're not dribbling and shooting a jump shot on Tease.
Yeah.
He was so good at UW. He played a lot more offensively at UW, so that's another thing people don't understand. I know he only averages like 8 points a game, but he averages like 8, 8, and 9. So it's like, you're not going to...
Well-rounded.
Yeah, he's very well-rounded. He's someone else like Draymond Green that's stats you can't compare with stats. You have to watch a basketball. You have to watch the deflected passes that turn into turnovers, the blocks, the poke outs that turn into someone else's steal. I mean, it's
insane.
And then Embiid can guard the biggest player on the court dominantly, and Tease can guard the greatest guard. So it's
front runner right now for the MVP.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is insane.
And I don't like James Harden, and I'm not going to get into that because I really don't care, but I think him being happy is going to be him playing better. When he's not in a bad mood, he's not playing lazy and being fat and sitting out. Because did you see him trip over some chairs at Barclays Center the other day? I saw
that was hilarious.
And I saw a tweet that said, if Buddy was in Brooklyn, this would have been 3.5 weeks to 4 out. Like, he would have like, oh, my God. But he got up, laughed, but happy.
Yeah, hopefully he's, it's just like, it's weird. I've never seen Superstar, just him and Kyrie both, it's just like, when stuff happens, I mean, losing always doesn't feel good. It's just like they just shut down.
It's no
like,
Dame.
I gotta go somewhere.
No
else.
Dame mentality. No. I mean, I know Steph hasn't had many bad years. It's
obviously like TikTok, just younger generation. Oh, they're going for. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Grow up, guys.
But yeah, I'm excited to see. And with Simmons should be coming back soon. KD should be coming back soon. Klay Thompson, it's only an illness, which God bless it. I thought 2 days in, I was like, oh my God, is it freaking knee coming again? But Dre coming back. I mean, the last 15 games, and we're getting close. People don't understand the All-Star break was 2/3 of the way through the season, essentially. I mean, some teams have played 66 of their 82 games, so a lot of teams have 20 games left. So the last, I would say, 10 games, depending on seeding, are going to be probably the most fun you've ever seen. Like when you see Harden and Benson. When's that matchup?
March 5th, literally Friday.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think people are playing.
I think I heard a rumor saying that it's most likely not going to happen.
It's such a bummer, dude.
But also, Kevin Durant comes back Thursday.
Oh, okay. So even,
that's going to be great. No matter what, it's the best player in basketball still.
It says, this is an article from 1 hour ago from a place in Brooklyn, saying Ben Simmons' inability to space the floor on Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving is looming a genuine concern for the Nets. Apparently in practice it hasn't been going well, but it's practice. You put all those dudes on the court together, and we always talk about positionless basketball, but when you have that many good players, they don't care what position they're playing. Stand somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, for my Blazers, I'm a big Kings fan right now. I mean, they traded for Sabonis. They're trying to make a run to get into the play-in tournament. That's all they want.
Yeah,
because that'll revive their kind of career, like their franchise a little bit, give them some light to the fans if they have any. But I mean, they're playing New Orleans, who are also in the play-in. Blazers just need to keep losing, and then
Kings are so bad at tanking. I've never seen a team so brutally bad at
now
it's not tainted.
Now Nurkic is gone.
He's gone for the year? Shut him down?
For a month, but it's probably he's going to be revalued.
There's basically 30-something days left, 35 days left.
There's no point. So, I mean, we can get 5 and 6 almost. Mm-hmm. It would be insane. It was just, I don't know. I've never been, I mean, it's 8 straight years in the playoffs. It's just like, it shows like Wheeler's just like, he's badass where he's like, no matter what, we're going to find a way to win.
Is he coming back this year or no?
Probably not. He's getting reevaluated, I think, next week. But it just like every interview, it just seems like he's like, I'm probably going to just shut down.
It says 8 hours ago there was a...
Even in an interview, he said if CJ or like we start tanking, like I'm...
It says reevaluate in 2 to 3 weeks. What will be the goal and come back with 6 games left? Yeah. Unless there's a chance for the play-in, but...
No, he's not even playing for it.
But I hate it because, I hate to say it, but you guys aren't going to win a championship. I don't care who you end up playing in the playoffs. It would be stupid to have him come back and risk anything. Like, even risk him, even just a few more weeks being in. There's no reason.
No, I want him to kind of just like get as healthy as possible because I don't know how much Lillard play you watch.
I watch a lot. I mean,
dude, he drives in like he takes some hard. I mean, especially last year. Dude.
He goes up and comes down on his side.
He falls.
I mean, when he's not shooting a three, he's on the floor.
The one thing what I'm really happy about with like he just doesn't complain a whole like he yells, but it's not like he just goes back on defense.
It's not like I saw a perfect example last night of LeBron. Was it last night when they lost again? Yes,
third straight.
Dude. I'm sorry. Episode 1 and 2, I kept calling them low retirement home, and they are quite honestly doing pretty terrible.
Also, did you see who was it? It was DeAndre Jordan with the really bad pass. The next morning he got cut. He got waived, which is insane. Which is like, you guys still kind of need big men.
And they lost to the Mavs last night, and I mean, Luke is one of my favorite players. Dude.
He's awesome.
They literally traded away his co-star, and he was like, who's so funny that they did. Let's talk to Silas about this. He just got most likely shut down for the season.
Yeah.
So, literally, they got Dinwiddie.
It's his whole career, dude.
It's his whole career. This keeps happening. Next year, he's owed $33.5 million. The year after, he's owed $35.5 million. And, get this, the most he's averages in his whole career is 20-7.
Yeah.
He's not worth it. And I know that sounds good, and obviously, I mean, that's a really good player. That's a second option on the best teams, but not when you're playing 20 games.
He was so hyped up, he was going to be like...
When he was in New York, we were talking about, is he going to be one of the greatest players in the league?
Yeah, like one of the greatest Knicks of all time.
Yes, Knicks of all time. They were trying to
put him in that pace. He was breaking records.
He was shooting the 3-ball at a highest clip ever. And to me now, it's
I don't know if it's just injuries or... Dude, it's weird. I remember did you ever see the videos, like, I think the summer going into the Mavs year? He got in, like, the bar fight. His whole nose.
He's 6'11", dude.
Yeah.
I'm like...
7'1".
7'1". Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem with being 7'1" and being a skinny 7'1" and not like a Giannis built 6'11" or 7 foot, whatever you want to call him. And yeah, I don't know what to say other than I'm
he had
happy.
so much promise, dude. He had so much
and
promise.
I don't mean to, like...
He also has he's very young.
He is very young, yes.
He's like 25, 28. Something.
Yeah, he should be... Yeah, he's pretty young. 26, perfect, almost right in the middle. Yeah, I guess I'd love to see him healthy, but as someone who's proven he can't be healthy, right now it says he's listed at 7'3". I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
But he's a giant, but right now it's looking like quite the waste of a fourth pick, fourth overall, not round, pretty much of a waste of a fourth pick just 7 years ago, and then the contract. It's like Dallas has the opportunity to have Dinwiddie, who's good. I mean, he's not averaging a lot of points, but it doesn't matter. The point was, hey man, if you're not going to help us this year, why are you here?
Yeah.
It's like, that's my personal point.
I think Mavericks are, I mean, they always tend to go deep in the playoff run.
Or like, put up an effort at least.
And, I just think... I think next year will be dangerous with them if they really capitalize on all this.
Luke is so good
because they got a draft. They got a first round draft pick from Luke from Wizards, right?
Yep.
This year,
I think so.
Dude,
is it this year or next?
If you can look up.
I got you.
That I'm gonna look up the what is it? The standings, because I think right now like Wizards were like hot. I think fourth. Like I think before All-Star break they were like fourth or something.
Oh really?
They were pretty high and then they just like collapsed.
It must be next year because it's not this year.
Yeah, they're literally 11th.
So something else I want to throw out there about the Dinwiddie trade, which people really talk shit about, and then I think I saw that the second he was shut down, and I follow a bunch. I mean, I'm a Dallas fan. Like, it's like not second team, but it's the only other team I keep up with. Where I enjoy watching games. I have a Luka jersey. I've been to some Mavs games. I was really excited. I was like, Dinwiddie's getting paid $800,000 a year. So I don't know if you can even compare that to 33 in cap space next year. He'll get paid, $1 million and change the year after. But he was averaging 9 points on the season before coming in here. He's now averaging 12.5, so a boost in points. But he has 24, 22, and 16 points in the last 3 games. So if that doesn't just tell me all dude needed to do is get out of...
Also, they're dealing with the new coach.
Yes.
Yeah, with Jason Kidd. So it's going to be super interesting. I think next year is going to be dangerous. I think like top 3. I
think it'll be Suns, Warriors, Mavs. I think they'll literally be the top 3.
Depends with... If I mean, I feel like Blazers. I mean, even so, the tanking's been weird. I mean, it all depends on balls going down, and then they.
It's so funny that that's what it depends on, but no, and I mean, don't get me wrong. If it's, him and Simons and a healthy Nurk and a new small forward, I think they're a 3-4 seed. I really like. I don't want to give them too much credit because they haven't had a lot to show, and even when they did have good years, they didn't have a lot.
I'm really excited with the second year with Chauncey Billups because I think he can be a great coach.
Yep.
And I really do believe in him, and I feel like this past couple that 4-game win streak it really showed a lot within his coaching ability to grow.
Has he been a coach before?
This is his first year as a head coach. He was an assistant to the Clippers.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So get better.
And he focused defensively a lot, which I think that's the biggest thing what really needed to develop on.
And with offensive basketball nowadays being a lot of running and shooting.
Yeah.
But
it'd be really nice. But yeah, I'm really excited what we do this offseason as a Blazer fan. And then, back to the Knicks game, because I think, who is it? Harden he's now four 3-pointers away to going up to...
Oh, he has 2 tonight already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, what is it? 5? Yeah, 5th. Yeah. Move up to 5th all time. Lillard's at 9.
Really?
He's at 9, which is crazy. And with basically no season this year, it's gonna be crazy. So
Steph's been in the league for 1 year longer and has 525 more 3-pointers than him. I'm just saying that's it's
the greatest. It's
well, he is. It's not a debate anymore. But just for anyone who still thinks it's to keep in mind. Harden shoots more than him. He shoots more threes than him. There was part of his career where he was shooting 13 a game, bro.
Yeah, it's just the efficiency. You retire as 45%. It's insane, and it's 100%.
People take for granted what we're watching right now between Steph and KD and Giannis. We're watching
a lot of
guys. Those are all Hall of Famers. That's not a debate.
Yes.
Those are don't take it for granted. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. And then what else do we have? And then now we can wrap up now with UFC 272 preview. Who's the guys again?
Yeah, so it's Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. It's I don't know how to say this nicely. It's kind of a joke to be a pay-per-view. There's no belts. It still costs $80.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, no, they don't lower the price. It's a pay-per-view, considered at least. Jorge and Colby Covington used to be training partners in Florida at American Kickboxing Academy. Super cool story. Just that they basically... Jorge is a striker who grew up fighting in the streets of Miami. Colby is from Oregon and grew up wrestling and winning 2 or 3 time Division I wrestling champion at Oregon State. Born and raised there, moved down to Miami, and basically they were they were perfect for each other. Colby didn't know how to strike but was good at wrestling. Jorge didn't know how to wrestle but was good at striking, and they were training partners. So they basically taught each other skill. Apparently Colby didn't pay Jorge's coach for multiple training camps, and that's when the things kind of spiraled, and Jorge Masvidal chose... people calls him George, he calls it Jorge, but anyway, call him George Masvidal, paid the money Colby owed him, and they've had beef since then, and then George just lost back-to-back fights to Kamaru Usman, and then Colby just lost to Kamaru Usman. So, it's kind of a joke to me. I don't want to say kind of, because I know Jorge's good, but the fact that Jorge hasn't won a ton of fights, he's kind of on a losing streak, he's getting older, it's a money fight, they know so many people are going to want to watch this, but Colby should clean him up. It should be pretty much like he'll school him. It should be punch, takedown, choke him out.
I've seen the videos on Colby Covington, and I was telling Marcus this before we filmed. I was like, he's like Marcus is like I hate him so much. Yeah, I hate him too. It's just like you understand he just plays a perfect villain, and that with a lot with fighting industry, being the villain makes you money, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's unlike any other sport. If you're a villain and you're in the NFL, people are like, you're a bad locker room thing.
Yep.
Blah blah blah.
But this is fighting. It's 1v1. There is
so
no locker
aggression
room.
and it's just like whatever persona and personality you choose within this fighting game, it can make you money. Like just solely off of that. Like look at Conor McGregor, dude.
Better, I mean, not better, but more recent example is Sugar Show. Like, that's someone who, when he first was fighting, he would never have been even half of that story without the personality. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a really, that's a really good example. Conor's he painted the picture for how to make money in this sport.
And then Jake Paul copied that, it's just like, it's just like, man, being the villain sometimes you make a lot more money. You make a lot of money, even if it's outside of that, because people like that.
Yeah. So here's a fun little story for you. I'm not sure if you know this. I had to pull it up because I couldn't remember the dude's name. So he fought Damian Maia in Brazil. Before this fight, Colby was the number 6 dude in the world. He's fighting number 2 dude in the world. It was he even says his pay. It was $30,000 to show, $30,000 to win. Leading into this fight, the UFC told him you were going to be cut. They said you haven't been doing too well. You've been causing too much drama. We're going to let you go. So he starts painting this picture of, he basically is trying to draw attention. So he takes the American flag on, he starts cutting his hair different. So this fight's in Brazil. After he wins in Brazil, he goes, and excuse my French, he goes, fuck you, Damian Maia, fuck you, Brazil, Brazil's a dump. And then he drops the mic and walks through an arena with 70,000 Brazilians in it in Rio de Janeiro who are throwing beers and trying to jump fences to fight him. And now you have a star. Because the whole country hates him.
It's like, okay, we got our...
And then, so then he fights another Brazilian in America and does the same thing and beats the crap out of him. And then leads a few years later to fighting Tyron Woodley, loses fights for the interim belt, and that's the most infamous pictures, which is a joke. The interim belt's meant for people who are injured or contract disputes that can't get solved. Colby got it's not a real belt, it's interim. You have to fight the champion to make it a real belt. Colby then flexed it for months, pushing back fights, trying to make it seem like a real belt, went to the White House, took pictures with Trump. So it was really funny, but he's a perfect example. Like, literally they said, you're gonna be cut, and he said, Brazil, you filthy animals, this place is a dump. And then he walked out.
Dude, jeez.
And apparently they had security concerns all through the night at the hotel in Brazil, and had to have him put in a special car to go to the airport. I mean, it's a country of people.
I wouldn't even party there, dude.
No. He stayed in his hotel room and left on a private jet.
Yeah, you're not even partying, bro.
So I just thought it was funny, and his manager's quote was, they said they didn't want to resign me, and I said, you can't, when you're super entertaining, you have no choice but to resign me, and he got re-signed for a big contract in next fight, so.
Smart.
It's a pretty funny story.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought it was funny, but it's not a great card. I'm like, there's not a lot to talk about. You're not...
I guess picks, I would, my 3, I think, would be Colby Covington. Also, guys, preface, I don't really know MMA. I'm just doing off of stats.
Yeah, and a lot of these other dudes are not super big names.
Colby Covington.
Second fight, co-main, Rafael dos Santos or RDS. This is a new guy he's fighting.
Okay.
So 3 days ago, this contract got signed. So I'm gonna go RDS on the second one, or Rafael dos Santos.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably do him, and then I'll do Edson Barbosa. I don't know. It's just I feel like the Bryce Mitchell guy, really hasn't done a whole lot.
Yeah, he's just on a streak of fighting no ones.
It's all right, but I mean, it's just weird being a 10th, and not being being an underdog. So I'm picking him, and then for the memes, I'm doing Greg Hardy.
Can we pull up the odds real quick? So I'm gonna do
160 for Greg Hardy.
Plus.
Yeah, plus.
It's heavyweights, man. Those dudes swing. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna start at the bottom. I don't know why, but start with the lowest pick. I'm gonna go Kevin Holland, one of my favorite fighters, and I'll show you videos when this is over. Super, super talkative dude. I'll show you videos. He's really famous for, he'll be on the bottom of a fight and be like, damn, good hit, man. Good hit, man. He'll talk to you as you're beating him up, but super skilled dude. 21-7, gets caught occasionally being caught. I mean, he'll put his hands down and he'll be out cold, and he keeps losing that way. But I'm gonna go Kevin Holland. I'm actually going to go Bryce Mitchell. I think the dude Edson has the experience having 32 fights with other dudes 15, and I'm guessing most of those fights are amateur. So, and then I'm going to go RDS. Rafael dos Anjos should win. And Colby. I'm going to do Colby, and I'm actually going to say second round. I'm going to say he knocks him out cold in the second round.
Yeah.
Or chokes him out. I mean, Colby is a 2 or 3 time Division I national champion wrestler. And is a stud at that.
Yikes.
So, yeah. Great fight, though. I mean, if you can find a way to not pay for it, go ahead and watch. I would really recommend, don't pay $80, please.
Yeah.
It's not a good card.
Yeah. What's the next card? Or
the 273. I don't believe they've finished building it. Alexander Volkanovski, who's a champion, fighting the Korean Zombie, and then Aljamain Sterling and Piotr Jan. This is actually the 3rd time they fought, so they've each won one. One's a disqualification. One's a disqualification. So one dude, they got kneed in the head and faked a head injury to win the championship, and has been milking this belt for years. So hopefully Piotr Jan can get his belt back. But that's a really good one. And then they're actually building up that pre-card, so that should be, really, that should be a really, really good card. That's not till April, so we have a real good gap and a bunch of, they call them fight nights that are on ESPN. So
all right,
but I'm excited.
Yeah, and then next episode should be probably we're gonna start doing Wednesdays or mostly Thursdays. I think is easiest for us. So hopefully everyone enjoyed watching or listening wherever you did. Subscribe, like button, and share with the friends. So have a good day.
Later.